And then he did something that's really hard for a politician to do. He voluntarily gave up political power. And George Washington knew that, and he did it. And he set the standard for us serving 2 terms before it was mandatory. It helped his legacy, and it will enhance Joe Biden's legacy.
That's former President Bill Clinton speaking at the DNC last night, comparing President Joe Biden to George Washington. This after the leaders of the Democratic Party seemingly ousted the president in July. And remember, Pelosi said that Biden should be on Mount Rushmore with George Washington.
Just when I thought I'd heard it all. Joining us now for more on Night 3 of the DNC, New York Congressman Anthony D'Esposito. Congressman, thanks for waking up with us. So what do you make of the Democratic Party continuing to tout Biden's accomplishments, comparing him to George Washington? Barack Obama called him his friend, and his brother, Nancy Pelosi, said it was the most successful presidency of modern times. But this was the same party who essentially kicked him off the ballot. I'm not buying the joy that the party is selling at this DNC, are you?
No, it's like it's a bad movie. They're trying to sell the fact that they're all supporting Joe Biden when, in fact, they were the ones who probably were part of one of the biggest coups we've ever seen here in the United States of America. And they let Joe Biden walk away and walk off that stage on a late Monday night, first night of the convention, with that knife that they put in his back still in there.
It almost feels like the DNC is just so misleading. You watch it and you're like, what have we been watching the last 3.5 years? The issues that are on the ballot don't seem to be coming up. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz also officially accepted the vice presidential nomination last night. Let's take a listen to part of that speech here.
To all of you here in Chicago and all of you watching at home tonight, thank you for your passion. Thank you for your determination. And most of all, thank you for bringing the joy to this fight.
I mean, they can run on joy and energy for so long, but eventually policy is going to have to come forward. What do you think of VP Walz? What kind of a VP do you think he's going to be?
Well, I guess we're really not sure. The only thing that we could do is look at his history in Minnesota and the fact that he has long sided with progressives. He calls Ilhan Omar one of his dear friends. He allowed his city to burn in riots. And I think what's really important is that over the last 3 days, we keep hearing from all of these speakers about personality conflicts. We keep hearing about the great job that Joe Biden has done, but we don't hear about any of the problems that people are actually talking about when they sit around the kitchen table back at home. And that's the scary part. I mean, you take it a little bit closer to home. Last night, Tom Suozzi spoke, and he talked about immigration, and he talked about this American dream with his parents, which we all embrace. No one is questioning the fact that we want people to have the American dream. We want them to come through the front door, and that's what's different right now. This isn't an immigration issue that we're dealing with. It's a border security issue, and that's because Kamala Harris and Joe Biden allowed our border to be wide open. That's what we are dealing with. They keep referring back, trying to dupe the American people about this bipartisan Langford bill. It never passed the Senate, and it wasn't a solution. It was a surrender. It codified the disastrous policies that Kamala Harris, our border czar, and Joe Biden put into place. What we should have done is taken H.R. 2, the Secure the Border Act, and started negotiations right there. But the Democrats and Chuck Schumer ignored it. And the fact that Tom Suozzi and others are trying to recreate history and actually sell this complete fake story to the American people is quite frankly disgusting.
And we will hear from the border czar tonight. Kamala Harris taking the stage at about 11 o'clock. Congressman Anthony D'Esposito, thank you so much for joining us this morning.